Howdy, friends. Welcome into another episode of Nash Trash with our good friend Debbie Reynolds, who's out at the beach today. Debbie, what's with that?
It just looked like someplace we should be.
Well, maybe we should start this over and I should change my background.
Oh, well. It's a fun week in country music, for sure. There were so many things that happened this week in history. Like, for example, on January 19th, 1954, George Jones recorded his debut country song, No Money in This Deal. Now, it wasn't released until February, but this was his first song in over 900 songs he recorded in a 61-year career.
Wow.
Is that phenomenal?
Had to start somewhere, and I'm sure he probably didn't make any money on that deal.
Probably not. But in 1979, on this day, Dolly Parton was number one on the country charts with Baby I'm a Burnin', which I do not even remember.
I don't remember it either.
Well, it's the A side of her. The B side was I Really Got the Feeling. And this song was really aimed at more the pop charts, or the Baby I'm Burnin' was more the pop charts, while the I Really Got the Feeling was the country charts. So I guess she was maybe dipping her toe in both places to see what would happen. Who knows?
Pretty smart businesswoman,
Absolutely. Also on this day in 2014, Florida-Georgia Line's Cruise was the best-selling digital country single in history, having more than 6.6 million downloads to date. That is unbelievable. It spent 24 weeks at the top of the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, and it was making it the longest running number one since the chart's inception. Now it's a great song, and Florida Georgia Line does a phenomenal job on it, but man, that's a lot of accolades for that one song. Now, this is also an interesting story. On January 21st, 1957, Patsy Cline made her debut appearance on Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scout TV show in New York City. Now, the show itself was interesting. I don't know if you ever watched it when you were a youngster.
I was 2. I don't think I watched it.
I was 6. But on the day of the show, she met with the show's producer, who said, what are you going to sing? And she said, I'm going to sing a song called A Poor Man's Roses or A Rich Man's Gold. And Davis said, no, I would prefer that you sing Walking After Midnight. And so she didn't really want to, but Patsy Cline ultimately agreed to sing that song as well. Her mom had made her this Western cowgirl kind of outfit, and the producer said, no, I'd rather you wear a cocktail dress. So she did, and she ended up winning the contest that night. And then, as we say, the rest is history.
It was a good song and probably a very good decision on that producer to help
Absolutely.
out Patsy Cline.
Absolutely. A couple of more things I wanted to mention. On January 21st, 2006, Carrie Underwood was number one on the Billboard Country charts with Jesus Take the Wheel. And that song had more than 1 million ringtones downloaded.
Wow, 1 million ringtones. Do you get money for that?
I don't know. And then finally, on January 23rd, 1969, Glenn Campbell was awarded his first gold single of his career for Wichita Lineman.
Wichita Lineman, Jimmy Webb.
Absolutely. Hey, let's say happy birthday to a few people. Bobby Goldsboro was born in Marianna, Florida, on January 18th, 1941. He was really both pop and country. Everybody really liked him. On January 19th, 1939, Phil Everly of the Everly Brothers was born in Chicago. He and his brother Don scored 4 country hits in the 1950s. Bye Bye Love was country. Wake Up Little Susie, one of my favorites. Bird Dog, I don't know if you remember that one. And All I Have to Do Is Dream. Now, interesting, Reba McEntire and Linda Ronstadt both had hits with Everly Brothers songs. When Will I Be Loved? They both had a #1 hit or a big hit with that song, and that was an Everly Brothers song.
Yeah, Reba McEntire released Kathy's Clown one.
She did indeed. We got to say happy birthday to Dolly Parton. She was born on January 19th, 1946 in Sevierville, Tennessee. You know, she's known as the queen of country music, having sold over 100 million albums and starred in 6 movies, of which I've seen almost every one of them, I believe.
I've seen them all too. She's a pretty good actress, you know. She's a great singer, but she's a pretty good actress too.
Birthdays today, John Michael Montgomery, Brantley Gilbert. Slim Whitman was born in Tampa, Florida on January 20th. He died in 2013, but he was a country artist for 7 decades. 7. Sold over 70 million records. Wow. Then January 21st, Mac Davis would have celebrated his birthday. He was born in 1942, and as you know, he passed away last September. And Teddy Gentry was born on January 22nd. He's a part of the Alabama group, and he was going to celebrate a birthday. So happy birthday to all these folks.
Happy birthday to all of them. That's great. I saw Dolly Parton was on Facebook an awful lot over the last few days. People congratulating her for her birthday. She's 75 years old, doesn't look a day over 60.
I know. And you know, we still haven't heard whether or not she's going to pose for Playboy. She said she was going to do it on her 75th, the year she was 75. So I guess that's to be determined.
Yes, we'll find out.
Grand Ole Opry is going to be closed on Fridays until the end of February, but this Saturday they have got a great lineup. Devin Dawson, the Gatlin Brothers, Keb Mo, whose name is really Kevin Roosevelt Moore, great bluegrass, Maggie Rose, the comedian Aaron Weber, and Zach Williams. Good lineup this weekend.
That does sound like a lot of fun. I've seen the Gatlin Brothers and I've seen Keb Mo, both at the Opry, and they put on a pretty good show. I've never seen the others, but I'm sure if they're on the Opry, it's going to be a good show no matter what.
Absolutely.
Well, it's time to take a look at what's going on in country music in Texas and checking the charts. And we're going to start not only check the Texas charts, but check the mainstream charts as well. On the Texas charts, John Wolfe is at number 5 with Heart to Steal Tonight. Josh Abbott Band is at number 4 with The Luckiest. John Stork, our buddy, is number 3 with Another Town. Curtis Grimes, still a little country left at number 2. And the Randy Rogers Band is still holding on to number 1 with Drinking Money. And then there's the mainstream country charts, which we've never checked before, so I thought we'd take a look. Kelsey Ballerini is number 5 with Hole in the Bottle. I really like that song.
I do too, because all my bottles have holes in them.
Luke Bryan, Down to 1, is at number 4. Lady A, they're with Champagne Night at number 3. Chris Stapleton starting over at number 2. And Luke Combs is holding on to the number 1 spot with Better Together. And then there's also some other charts that we never talk about. And I'm just going to hit the number 1s. But on the Americana chart, Jake Bird is number 1 with Head Start. On the Southern Gospel chart, Luke Combs is number 1 with Even Though I'm Leaving. And on the True Indie Country chart, James Robert Webb with Good Time Waiting to Happen. To be honest, I've never checked out these charts before in my life, but I came across them the other day and I thought, well, let's at least find out who's number 1. And then, of course, we like to check in with our friends and see how they're doing on the Texas charts. Aaron Watson's at number 6 with Silverado Saturday Night. Kylie Fry is at number 7 with I Do Thing. Cody Johnson from right up the road is number 10 with Deer Rodeo. And Holly Tucker from Waco is at number 11 with Rhythm of You. And checking out the dance halls that are around in the general area, Green Hall has Jake Penrod on the 23rd. Copeland Dance Hall still closed because of COVID. They're going to be opening up in February, hopefully. On Thursday of this week, Jason Allen and Tom Shepard are going to be at Do-Si-Do, and I'm going to be in the audience. On the 28th, Jason Boland at Do-Si-Do, and on February 6th and 7th, William Clark Green is going to be there both nights. The Arena Theater, a show that we've talked about for months, and we're going to be talking about it for a few more months. On May 20th, Gene Watson, Bellamy Brothers, and Mo Bandy. I think that's going to be a great country music show.
Great show.
And on Friday, February 19th, Shenandoah and Colin Ray are both going to be at the Arena Theater. We go down to Spring, Texas, Rowdy's Dance Hall on Friday, January 29th. It's Wade Bowen. And on February 5th, Aaron Watson. And then if we go up the highway a little bit to College Station, Hurricane Harry's on Thursday, January 28th. Our good friends John Stork and Hayden Haddock are playing a small acoustic show. And then at Southerns on the February 13th, Bart Crow. And on February 26th, Josh Ward with Jake Bush. And those are the dance halls that are pretty much in our general area. But we've got shows that the artists have coming up. Aaron Watson's going to be at Twisted J Live in Stephenville on the 23rd, Rowdy's Dance Hall in Spring on the February 5th, and the San Antonio Rodeo on February 21st. From what I understand, they really limited the number of people, and if you don't have a ticket, you're probably not going to get in. I think it's sold out already. Kyle Park
will take advantage of that for sure, because Fort Worth is not having their rodeo this year at all.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that. That's for sure. Wow. Kyle Park is going to be at the Silver Saloon in Terrell on the 5th. And on March 27th, he's going to be at the Hidden Oaks Concert Series in Windhorst. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Windthorst. I had to Google map it to find out where that was. It's up northwest of Fort Worth somewhere. And on Saturday, April 10th, he's going to be right here in my hometown, Conroe, Texas. He's going to be at the Montgomery County Fair. So I can't wait to see Kyle. John Stork's going to be at the Blue Light Live in Lubbock on the 23rd, Hurricane Harry's in College Station on the 28th, and Sundance Hall in Canton on the 29th. Kylie Fry opens for Randall King on Friday, January 22nd. They're both at Brewster's Ice House in Corpus Christi. And then Randall King is continuing on to Moe's Place in Katy on the 23rd, and Billy Bob's in Fort Worth on the 29th. We need to go to one of those shows. That's all. Just maybe go to the one in Billy Bob's up in Fort Worth. Randy Rogers is going to do acoustic shows. January 29th, he's in Cedar Park. And on Saturday the 30th, he's in Victoria. And then Josh Abbott Band is doing 2 shows in Corpus Christi at Brewster's Ice House on the 29th. I think they divided it up into 2 shows because of COVID to make it less people on each show. And then Saturday the 30th, he's going to be in San Marcos. And checking out the last one, Curtis Grimes is going to be in Lubbock on the 22nd and in Borger on the 23rd. But we've got a new thing we're going to start today, checking out what new music is dropping. On Saturday, January 15th, a few days ago, Blake Shelton dropped Minimum Wage. Have you heard that song?
I have. It's a great song.
It's a very good song. Doesn't talk much about minimum wage, but it more about getting the girl when he was making minimum wage. But nonetheless. And then Tim McGraw and Tyler Hubbard, who's from Florida Georgia Line, have a new song called Undivided. Tyler wrote that song in November when he was in quarantine for COVID, and he was on his bus. I guess he was quarantined on his bus.
What a great place to be quarantined.
Great place to be quarantined, I guess, yeah. And Matt Castillo is coming out with Leaving Brownsville Tonight. Now, Carrie Underwood is going to be releasing a new gospel album. That's coming up right before Easter. And then here's some news. Chris Stapleton's song Tennessee Whiskey is being featured in George Clooney's new movie called Midnight Sky, and you can watch that on Netflix.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. What else going on in country music there, Debbie?
Well, we were talking about Dolly earlier, and on January the 12th, Representative John Mark Wendell of Tennessee introduced a bill that would put a statue of Dolly Parton in somewhere in Nashville. Now, he's mentioned several locations and across from the Ryman Theater or anything like auditorium or places like that. But they're wanting to honor her contributions to the state of Tennessee. With her Imagination Library, Dollywood, and her recent $1 million donation to Vanderbilt University's COVID-19 research.
Right.
She actually this donation assisted in the vaccine, the Moderna vaccine that has come out. So should the bill be passed, the statue would be funded not by the state, but by donations, grants, and gifts. They're asking for input, but next time I go to Nashville, I might just see some statue of Dolly somewhere. And it may not be just one, too. There may be several statues of Dolly because they're taking down some of their other statues and they're looking for people, and Dolly's the first person on their list.
Well, she'd be a great person to have a statue made of. I can
Absolutely.
Tell you. She's a wonderful woman, and she does a lot for the world, but she does a lot, especially for Tennessee. And
well, and one last thing. Last week we started talking about some new artists to look for in 2021. Well, I have been blown away by Priscilla Block, who is a Meghan Trainor-like artist. She's a gutsy little person, but she started out really mostly on TikTok and social media and promoted herself and got such a huge fan base that a record company in Nashville sought her out and put her under contract. Wow. But some of her songs, she just released, her latest release was Just About Over You. She is so honest in what she writes about. She also has another couple of songs out, Thick Thighs and PMS. So as I said, she's an aspiring songwriter to watch for, and I think she's going to really be a knockout this year.
Yeah, I actually downloaded Just About Over You this morning and listened to it, and I think she's got something.
Yeah, I do. I think she's got something for sure, and she's sassy. We're gonna be watching for her.
All right, Debbie Reynolds, anything else going on in the world of country music we need to know about?
No, I'm fixing to go get me a pina colada and sit out on the beach.
Yeah. Well, which beach are you at? Because that's an awful blue water. So
I don't have any idea, but it's certainly a pretty one.
It is a pretty one indeed. All right, Debbie Reynolds, I guess we'll see you next Wednesday. All right?
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right. See you later. Bye-bye.